taking everything. So
and they don't even know it.
And they don't know it.
A federal decision aimed to reduce the sentences of non-violent drug offenders and alleviate overcrowding issues in jails has backfired in a way that will impact every community nationwide. That's according to District Attorney General Tony Clark, who says convicted felons released under this program already have reoffended. Again, good evening. I'm Josh Smith.
And I'm Sarah Diamond. In April of last year, the U.S. Sentencing Commission decided to reduce the sentence of non-violent drug offenders, impacting those already incarcerated. Kylie has more. Kylie?
Sarah and Josh, we addressed concerns surrounding this federal early release program back in June, but in the months since, First District Attorney General Tony Clark told us that those concerns have come true, pointing to real examples in our area of criminals released last year who have reoffended. Clark says the move is undoing years of work that it took to put those offenders behind bars.
We're reaping the tragedies of what's happened by these people being released early.
First District Attorney General Tony Clark says since federal prisoners were released early back into our area last year, he's seen firsthand a terrifying reality.
8 to 10 of them are involved in drug dealing now. Some have been charged, some are being investigated.
Just hours away in Chattanooga.
Someone who should have been spending time in a federal penitentiary was released early by President Obama's program, and that person is now charged with a murder.
The amendment went into effect November 1st, 2014, to lower the sentencing guidelines for drug offenses by 2 levels. Early release intended for nonviolent drug offenders. But Clark says there's no such thing. Most
of the drug dealers are armed. Most of them use violence. People are killed over drugs. So to say that drug dealing, just because they're incarcerated for a non-violent drug offense, I think is a misnomer, and it's a mistake.
Since the federal change, inmates have the opportunity to petition the court from which they were convicted to be released early. Over the last year, thousands of petitions have poured in, creating a backlog in U.S. attorneys' offices, the closest located in Greenville.
They're spending more time now answering these petitions than they are prosecuting new cases.
In June, federal community defender Beth Ford told News Channel 11, quote, "Sentences do not have to be extremely long in order for a person to be rehabilitated." Clark has his doubts.
Some of these people may get out and be members of the community that work and have jobs, but I don't see that happening. I just don't see that the stats are not there.
In the Eastern District of Tennessee, Clark says 20 to 30 federal inmates were released early. This November, another 250 are expected of the 8,000 slated to be released nationwide.
The estimates are over the next year to year and a half, 20,000 federal inmates will be released early under this program.
The beginning of what Clark fears will be a disastrous end.
You name it, you name anything, or any kind of criminal activity that could be occurring, there's going to be more of it in our district and across the country.
In Jonesboro, Kylie McGivern, News Channel 11, in your corner.
The next wave of federal inmates are scheduled for early release in November.